Let me connect with y'all through this message right quick. Know what I'm saying? Why does God send people to hell? Hey, what's up? It's Patrick. It's Rose via Fire. And I pray this message reaches who it needs to reach. So let's talk about why does God send people to hell, man? Know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they don't understand why God sends people to hell. A lot of people, they don't understand it. But when you start to put in the work, the reason why you don't understand it is because you ain't put in the work for God. You ain't really put in the hard work for God. You ain't really did ministry for God. You ain't really walked into God's calling for your life and really put in that hard work. That's why you don't understand why God sends people to hell. You don't understand it because you ain't put in the hard work for God's kingdom. You ain't put in the hard work trying to reach souls and save souls from hell and really do what God called you to do and this and that. That's why you don't understand why God sends people to hell. You know, like, I've been doing ministry for God for a long time. I've been walking in God's calling for my life for a long time. And I understand it now. I understand why, bruh. I get it. I get it, bruh. I understand why God sends people to hell. I see it for what it is. Know what I'm saying? I see it for what it is. And the reason why God sends people to hell is because people take God's truth for granted, bro. People take real followers of God for granted, bro. That's why. That's one of the main reasons why God sends people to hell. You have to understand, right? People like me and other real followers of God that's doing what God called them to do, we out here telling these people, man, ta-da-da-da, ta-da-da-da, we preaching, we speaking the truth, and they overlook us. These people will mock us. These people think we're playing games. These people think we're just speaking for decoration. They are rebellious year after year, after day after day, after month after month, after decade. They overlook us. You know, they take everything for granted. Everything that we do, they take for granted. Everything that's related to God, they take it for granted. They take God's people for granted. They take God's truth for granted. They take God's mercy for granted. They take the blessings that God gave them for granted. They take the warnings of God for granted. They take everything for granted. The only thing that they appreciate is their sinful lifestyle, their worldly lifestyle, they fake happy lifestyle. They don't want to repent. They don't want to change. They don't want to do nothing for God, bro. And that's really what's going on, man. That's why God sent people to hell, bro. People take this stuff for granted, bro. And I just had to accept this stuff, bro. This is why God sends people to hell, bro, because people take us for granted, bro. People take everything that we do for granted. People don't appreciate this stuff, man. People don't appreciate this stuff. So let me get this straight. Why would God allow people into heaven who take everything that he shows them for granted? They reject God. They take everything for granted. They mock us. These people do not care if we live or die. You have to understand, bruh. People do not care if a real follower of God lives or dies. They don't care about the problems that we go through. They don't care about the pain and the suffering that we go through. They don't care about everything that we go through behind the scene. They don't care about our personal life. They don't care that we're trying to save souls. They don't care that we're speaking the truth. This is why God sends people to hell. It's called karma. It's called reaping what you sow, bruh. A real follower of God could be going through so much struggling and so much pain and this and that. Nobody gonna reach out, support them, no nothing, bruh. People do not care, bruh. They could care less if we live or die. So God is a fair judge. God is a God of justice. God seeing how they treat his people. God is using us to speak the truth and to reach souls and to bring people into the kingdom. And people take us for granted. This is why God sends people to hell. It makes perfect sense. The people who get emotional be like, why does God send people to hell? Why does God people send to hell? These the same people that don't give a damn about us, bro. I'm telling you, pay attention to these people who be saying, why does God send people to hell? These the same people that don't care nothing about us. They do not care what you're going through. The reason why they don't care about nothing that you're doing or what you're going through is because you a truth speaker, bro. You speak the truth, and they love the lies. When you speak in the truth, and people love the lies, the truth that you speak is gonna hurt their feelings. It's gonna tear down their fake happy lifestyle. It's gonna tear down the lifestyle of sin and the worldly lifestyle that they're trying to live. So they not gonna give a damn about if you was sick in the hospital, if you was dying, if you was this. They don't care about. These people is cold-hearted towards the people of God. These people is merciless towards God's people. These people is extremely cold-hearted and cruel towards God's people. So why would God let these people into heaven? Why would God let these people into heaven? I understand why God sent people to hell now. I see it for what it is. I see it for what it is. You know what I'm saying? I see this stuff for what it is, bruh. When God casting these people to hell, I see it for what it is now. These people don't care about us. That's exactly what it is. God is raising up people to speak the truth, and everybody takes them for granted. Everybody looks at them like they just decoration purposes. You see what I'm saying? They take your calling for God. When you're walking in your calling for God, they look at your calling as decoration. They think you're just doing stuff just to do stuff. They just ignore it, overlook it, ungrateful towards it. They don't appreciate it, man. They overlook it. That's why God sent people to hell. That's why. Oh, why is God sending me to hell? You didn't give a damn about God's truth. You don't care nothing about God. And if you do not care about God's people, you don't care about God. It's that simple. If you do not care about God's people, you do not care about God. Because the Spirit of God is the Spirit that's driving us to do everything that we do. So when you hate on us, you hate on God. When you mock us, you mock God. When you overlook us, you overlook God. When you don't appreciate us, you don't appreciate God. We and God is one, bro. We have a bond. We have a special connection with God. Everything that you do to us, you do to God. That's exactly how this stuff works. Why does God send people to hell? Now you see. And bro, people will literally listen to this entire message and they will still not give a damn about God. That's what I'm saying, bro. I already accepted all this stuff. This stuff don't surprise me. You know what I'm saying? This stuff do not surprise me. This stuff don't surprise me at all. You know what I'm saying? Majority of people might listen to this message and they still wouldn't give a damn. I'm knowing they don't care. I already accepted this stuff. For years, I struggled with accepting this stuff. I'm like, man, why are these people so cruel? Why these people don't care, man? They don't care, bro. I just accepted it. They just don't give a damn. Know what I'm saying? But look though, yeah, like bro, we could tell them the truth over and over and over. You could tell them the truth over, and you could tell these people the truth over and over and over. They don't care, bro. You know what I'm saying? They think this is a big joke, bro. They do not care about what you're saying, bro. Know what I'm saying? It's only a few people, bro, that's really chosen by God that's gonna appreciate this stuff, man. I'm telling you, these people do not give it. Majority of these people, they don't give a damn. You want to know why? Because they love their sinful worldly lifestyle. They love living in sin. They love their fake happy lifestyle. They love holding on to Christianity. They love being a Christian and holding on to all these false religions. They love this stuff, man. They love being a streamer, an influencer, and all this stuff, entertaining the world. They love entertaining the world. When the Bible says friends with the world is enemies with God, they love to entertain the world. They love to fit in with the world. They love this stuff. They don't care about us because we speak against all this stuff. This is why God sends people to hell. And is that a fair judgment? Yes, bro, it's a fair judgment. It's a fair judgment for God to cast these people into hell, bro, because these people don't care about us. You have to understand, bro. If God allowed us to live for, like, let's say a billion years, we could tell these people the truth for a billion years. We could tell these people the truth for a billion years, and they still wouldn't care. We could, if God allowed all of us to live until we was 1,000,000,000,000 years old, we could tell these damn people the truth for 1,000,000,000,000 years and they still wouldn't give a damn. Case closed, bro. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the people out there, man, who support my website, man. You know what I'm saying? Peace.